Hello, everybody. Good day to you all. So we are studying about the viruses. Viruses. We discussed earlier different forms of the viruses or different morphological forms of the viruses. Among the bacterial viruses, the virus particles which infect the bacteria are termed as the bacterial viruses, simply the bacteriophages or the phages. Bacterial viruses, it was the England, the virologist, namely Twart, in the year 1915, who for the first time studied in a detailed way about the bacteriophages. Later on, in the year 1917, it was Herrili also studied the bacteriophages in a detailed way. So, let's study about the structure of the T4 bacteriophage. T4 bacteriophage. Bacteriophage. It is important that we can understand how exactly the bacteriophage, T4 bacteriophage virus infect into the Escherichia coli bacterium cell and replicates later on after its infection within the Escherichia coli bacterium cell. So therefore it is important to know the structure of the T4 bacteriophage, the virus bacteriophage. It was taught of England in the year 1915, and Herrili of Paris in the year 1917, who not only discovered but also studied in a detailed way about the bacteriophages. Bacteriophages are tadpole, especially the T4 bacteriophage, tadpole shaped the virus particles. Among the different groups of the bacteriophages, we observe three different morphological forms. That is icosahedral tailless bacteriophages, the first group. Second group is that filamentous or a helical group of the bacteriophages. The third one is that uh, head and tail bacteriophages. Uh, the T4 bacteriophages comes under head and tail, the bacteriophages group itself. So these are the three different the morphological forms of different bacteriophages. As such, this the T4 bacteriophage is concerned. It is most extensively and widely studied the virus particle. One can very easily isolate T4 bacteriophage, the virus particle, from the feces of the human beings or from the seaways. Even it is also present in water and soil. So it is one of the most extensively studied the virus particle. Just I will make a sketch of the T4 bacteriophage. It becomes easy for us to understand the structure and multiplication of the T4 bacteriophage. So this is a simple structure of the T4 bacteriophage. This part is termed as a head, and this is a neck with collar, with collar, and this is a tail. This is a tail, and these are tail fibers, tail fibers, tail fibers. This is an hexagonal end plate, end plate, hexagonal end plate with the spines, with the spines, with the spines. The longitudinal section of the T4 bacteriophage helps us to understand its various chemical composition, and as well as its length, width, means what, the size of the bacteriophage, chemical composition, and various chemical components are structural constituents of the bacterial phase. So here is a sectional view of the T4 bacteriophage, the virus. T4 bacteriophage, the capsomers, and the DNA, then the collar, the neck, and the central, the long hollow core. Then this is the sheath of a tail, sheath around the central inner hollow core, the long hollow core of a tail. Then this is the distal end where the hexagonal end plate is present, to which the pins or the spikes are attached, from which the tail fibers usually they are extended. So this is on that side another like this. This is a sectional view of the T4 bacteriophage. T4 bacteriophage, T4 bacteriophage is one of the coliphase. Coliphase means what? This virus, this bacteriophage infected to the Escherichia coli bacterium, Escherichia coli bacterium cell, which is a rod-shaped bacterium, So therefore, commonly it is termed as a coliphase. That is the virus particle which infects to the Escherichia coli bacterium. This is one of the extensively studied the virus particle. So to start with, T4 bacteriophage exhibit a tadpole shape. Tadpole shape means what? The structure of the entire virus can be studied under the three important the headings. The first one it is the head, second one it is the neck, and the third one it is the tail. The head T4 bacteriophage exhibit a polygonal head. This is the polygonal head. Polygonal head with a number of the triangles and faces. This head actually uh, consists of the DNA, okay, and below which there is a neck region, and this neck connects the head and a tail. It is a tail region with hexagonal end plate and a tail fibers. The polygonal head of the T4 bacteriophage usually measures of about 1250 angstrom to angstrom long and 850 angstrom width. The length and width of the polygonal, the head of the T4 bacteriophage, it measures of about 1250 angstrom long and 850 angstrom wide. This head actually covered by a capsid. So this capsid made up of a capsomers. So over 2000 capsomers together they make up the head region of the T4 bacteriophage. These identical units of the capsomers assembled together to form a covering of the head region of the T4 bacteriophage, inner of which there is a DNA. This DNA measures of about 50 nanometer long, very long DNA molecule, double stranded DNA molecule which is present in the T4 bacteriophage, which measures of about 50 nanometer long, 1000 times longer than that of the entire structure of the bacteriophage, T4 bacteriophage, and it consists of about 75 genes in it. Such a DNA is present in the head region which is covered by a capsid. Okay, every virus particle contain a central inner core in which the DNA genetic material which is protected by the capsid. So this is the capsid made up of 2000 identical monomeric units known as a capsomers. This is a capsid made up of capsomers, inside of which there is a DNA. This DNA 1000 times longer than that of the entire structure of the T4 phase. Then it contains of about 75 genes and measures up to 50 nanometer long. This head region connect to the tail, which is a contractile tail, or nothing but a very slender tail. In between the tail and the head, there is a short, the neck is present. This neck with collar actually connects the head and tail together. Okay, so the long tail of a T4 bacteriophage usually measures of about 82. Here I will write 80 into 18. 80 into 18 angstrom. 80 into 18 angstrom. Actually, tail it is very long, nanometer. Nanometer. 80 into 18 nanometer long. Very long, a hollow covered by a contractile sheath. This is the contractile sheath of the, this is the core region of the tail. Sheath, the core. This core measures of about 25 angstrom. Okay, 25 angstrom. The from the neck region up to the distal, the end plate of the T4 bacteriophage, the tail measures of about 80 into 18 nanometer long. This tail exhibits a central inner, the hollow core, which measures of about 25 angstrom wide. It is a contractile tail. Contractile. It can contract. It can contract and relax. Means what? It can become shorter and longer. It can become shorter and thicker, longer and thinner, like that. So for this purpose, this tail covered by a contractile sheath. This contractile sheath made up of identical subunits. There are altogether 24. The springs are present here. There are altogether 24 springs are present. So each and every springs of the contractile sheath of a tail of T4 bacteriophage made up of 6 subunits. So overall, totally 144 the subunits are present in the long sheath, the contractile sheath of the T4, the bacteriophage. So at the distal end of the long tail of a bacteriophage, there is a hexagonal end plate. It is like this, hexagonal end plate, like this, hexagonal, having a 6, like this, hexagonal end plate. Okay. At each and every corner of the hexagonal plate, there are the spines or spicules. Okay, these the spines helps the attachment of the bacteriophage over the cell surface of the bacterium. At each and every corner of the hexagonal end plate of a T4 bacteriophage, there arises the tail fibers of a T4 bacteriophage. Each and every the tail fibers usually measures of about 130 into 2 nanometer long. I will write here 130 into 2 nanometer long. Each and every, there are usually 6 the long tail fibers are present and are attached to the hexagonal end plate of T4 bacteriophage. Each and every the long tail fibers composed, or they are connected together in such a way that each and every long tail fibers exhibit a that is the it is interior fiber and a distal fiber, like that. Okay, distal fiber, it is nearer fiber and a distal fiber, like that. So this is about structure of the T4 bacteriophage. The idea, that is the knowledge of the structure of the T4 bacteriophage, helps us to understand how exactly this bacterium, this virus particle infect into the Escherichia coli bacterium, and later on how can it replicate there. Okay, from this the knowledge of the structure of the T4 bacteriophage, let's move to study the replication of the T4 bacteriophage inside the Escherichia coli bacterium. Replication of T4 phase. T4 phase. Consider, suppose this is a Escherichia coli bacterium cell. Escherichia coli bacterium cell containing a DNA. Okay. The T4 bacterium, T4 bacteriophage virus, T4 bacteriophage, the virus. T4 bacteriophage virus. How can it infect? Means what? How can it enter into the bacterium cell? Bacteriophage virus is much smaller than that of the bacterium. Bacteriophage, nothing but a virus. Structure of the virus is much smaller than that of the bacterium. So therefore, I have shown here bigger structure of the bacterium. In order to understand how can the phase, T4 phase, replicate inside the Escherichia coli bacterium cell. Yeah, as I already mentioned earlier, T4 bacteriophage is most extensively studied the virus particle. Extensively studied means what? About its ultra microscopic study. So electron microscope made us easy to understand the structure, chemical composition of a virus particle. We can understand the entire replication process of a T4 bacteriophage under 5 or 8 different steps. The first step is that adsorption. So to start with, adsorption is a surface phenomenon. Whenever a T4 phase, the virus particle, come into contact with the cell surface of the bacterium, cell surface, it is a plasma membrane of the Escherichia coli bacterium. Whenever a T4 bacteriophage come into contact with the cell surface of the Escherichia coli bacterium cell, it has to recognize the specific site over the cell surface of a bacterium. So these tail fibers and a hexagonal end plate helps the bacteriophage to recognize and to attach on the cell membrane or a cell surface of the Escherichia coli bacterium. So especially surface, the proteins which are present on the cell membrane of the bacterium, this virus or the bacteriophage recognize, it lands there. It can be termed as a adsorption. So the bacteriophage, it recognizes the cell surface of particular receptors which are present on the surface of the cell membrane of a bacterium, Escherichia coli bacterium. For the recognition of a particular the protein receptors which are present on the membrane of a Escherichia coli bacterium, the tail fibers and a hexagonal end plate with the pins usually helps the uh, bacteriophage to recognize. Okay, this can be termed as a adsorption. During the adsorption, the bacteriophage not only recognize the specific receptors which are present on the cell membrane, but also it attach there, it lands there. Okay, with the help of the spines or the spines which are present, or the pins which are present at the distal end of the tail of the bacteriophage, helps the attachment of the bacteriophage on the cell surface. And in the second step of the replication of the bacteriophage is that penetration and decoating of the viral DNA takes place. Penetration and decoating. Penetration and decoating of viral DNA takes place. Viral DNA. As I already mentioned a few minutes ago, that whenever it lands there, it recognizes specific receptors and it attaches there. So the hexagonal end plate, the pins or the spikes of the hexagonal end plate of a virus helps the attachment. So during the attachment of the bacteriophage on the cell surface of the Escherichia coli bacterium, the long tail with the contractile sheath, with this contractile sheath, okay, it undergo contraction. Means what? It shortens down, it shortens and becomes thicker. It becomes very short and thicker. Very thicker. So that the long tail, when it becomes short, the head region of the distal head of T4 bacteriophage come into contact with, or it come nearer to the cell membrane of the bacterium. Okay, so with the help of the lysozyme enzyme, hexagonal end plate with the pins, it digs a hole there. This lysozyme enzyme helps for the degradation of the cell membrane of the Escherichia coli bacterium, as a result of which the DNA or the viral genome which is present in the head region of the T4 bacteriophage, it releases into the cell cytoplasm of the bacterium. This can be termed as a penetration and decoating of the DNA. So outer to the cell membrane of Escherichia coli bacterium, now only the empty head and the other tail and tail fibers remains there. The empty head and tail are that is bacteriophage without a genome, which remains outer to the bacterial surface, can now be termed as the ghost. So it was the scientists who very clearly explains how exactly the penetration and the decoating of the viral DNA takes place into the cytoplasm of the bacterium. So we can understand in this fashion, as they have proposed us, in this fashion the penetration and the decoating of the viral DNA occur. Next, what happens when the viral genome or DNA of the bacteriophage enter into the cell cytoplasm of the Escherichia coli bacterium. So whenever it is released into the cytoplasm, now the next step, that is uh, the replication starts. Replication process, the multiplication of the virus particles inside the host cell, called by the name as a replication, uh, because of the fact that virus particles are acellular or are non-cellular organisms. They do not exhibit any cell machinery, nor they contain any cell organelles. Simply they made up of, or they composed of, the outer protective coat, namely the capsid, and inner of which there is a genetic material is present. So genetic material, DNA or RNA, outer capsid made up of a protein. So proteins and DNA or RNA together constitutes a viruses. So proteins are also the biomolecules, DNA are also the biomolecules. Biomolecules, they make their own copy inside the cytoplasm, of a host cell, with the help of a number of enzymes. So therefore they have rightly called it by the name as a replication process. So earlier I had mentioned that virus particles never multiply by a fission process like that of the bacteria. Virus particles are nor eukaryotic organisms, neither prokaryotes nor eukaryotes. Simply they composed of the capsid made up of protein subunits or the monomers, and genetic material. So therefore the replicate means what? The proteins, the synthesis of a new proteins and synthesis of a new DNA or RNA which is present inside the bacterium, okay, the virus particle takes place inside the host cell. So therefore in this case, when replication of the T4 bacteriophage initiates inside the cell cytoplasm, it initiates in such a way that whenever, now I shall show you here again. Consider, suppose, just you have to consider, this is the cell structure of a bacterium containing a DNA. The host, that is the empty capsid with tail and tail fibers. This is a the viral genome or a viral genome, nothing but DNA, DNA of the virus. Okay. In the third step of the replication of the T4 phase, is that breakdown of viral DNA takes place. Viral DNA takes place. Breakdown of viral DNA takes place. Viral DNA along with the bacterial DNA actually undergo the replication process here. It is the viral DNA with the help of the several enzymes together, they involved in the process of the replication of the new proteins and the new DNA molecules. Breakdown of that is the bacterial DNA takes place. Bacterial DNA takes place with the help of the endonuclease enzymes. Breakdown of the bacterial DNA takes place. And in the fourth step of the replication of the DNA, now the protein synthesis takes place. Protein synthesis takes place. You have to have some idea about the protein synthesis. Have to have an idea means what? Protein synthesis is one of the biological reaction in which not only the DNA is involved, but also several different the proteins, several different enzymes, and a number of cell organelles. Means what? Ribosomes, particularly ribosomes, are termed as a protein synthetic machinery, protein synthetic machinery of a cell. So ribosomes are greatly participate in the process of the protein synthesis. As soon as when the breaking up of the bacterial DNA with the help of the endonuclease enzyme of the bacterium takes place inside the Escherichia coli bacterium cell, the protein synthesis takes place. This protein synthesis can also be termed as a eclipse phase of a cell cycle of the T4 bacteriophage. During the eclipse phase, what happens? It is the viral DNA or the viral genome. It disintegrates into its molecular constituents, as I already mentioned. So when the DNA of the virus bacteriophage disintegrates into a molecular constituents, the protein synthesis, later on it is followed by the synthesis of the viral DNA takes place. So all these different processes can be understood under these headings, that is breakdown of a bacterial DNA, protein synthesis, and then arrest of the host cell machinery, arrest of host cell machinery, As soon as when the protein synthesis completes, it is immediately followed by the arrest of the host cell machinery. So before to understand how exactly the arrest of the host cell machinery takes place, it is better to consider the protein synthesis termed as the eclipse phase. So when the viral genome disintegrates into its molecular constituents with the help of the several enzymes, particularly the polymerase enzymes, synthesis of a new proteins of a virus takes place. New proteins of a T4 bacteriophage takes place. So it takes place in such a way that now I will show you here. Viral DNA, it is transcribed into a mRNA molecular, that is a messenger RNA. This messenger RNA later on translated into a proteins like this. The message, it goes in a one way, that is one way flow of the information takes place from DNA to RNA to protein. It can be termed as a protein synthesis. So it is also called by the name as a central dogma of the molecular biology. Protein synthesis takes place accordingly whatever the nucleotides which are present on the mRNA synthesis takes place in presence of a transcriptase enzyme with the help of the DNA. So it is now the viral DNA in presence of a transcriptase enzyme, it is transcribed into the mRNA. mRNA means what? This means that it is from the viral DNA, the information or the message goes to the mRNA later on translated into the proteins. So this means that this is also termed as a genetic code or a central dogma of the molecular biology. Protein synthesis takes place. Proteins, so entire the virus particle, that is a T4 bacteriophage, its head, then its the neck, its tail and tail fibers, all the different components, different parts of the entire T4 bacteriophage composed of proteins. So protein synthesis inside the host cell takes place with the help of the polymerase enzyme, different enzymes in this fashion. So here what happen, here I will show you, I will show you the proteins of a T4 bacteriophage. Proteins of a T4 bacteriophage. Okay, like that, tail fibers and the tail. So and then assumption, tail fibers, the head and the tail fibers, like that. The protein synthesis. Number of the proteins usually they group there in the cytoplasm of the host cell. That is a Escherichia coli bacterium cell. After the protein synthesis, arrest of the host cell machinery takes place. When the number of viral proteins are formed inside the cytoplasm of the bacterium, the entire metabolic machinery of the host cell, now it stops. It can be termed as a arrest of the host cell machinery. Whatever the metabolic reactions which occur inside the Escherichia coli bacterium cells, automatically they stop. This can be termed as the arrest of the host cell machinery. So here what happens, when the arrest of the cell host machinery occur within the Escherichia coli bacterium cell, automatically it is followed by the replication of the DNA, that is the viral DNA. It is the next step, replication of viral DNA. Viral DNA takes place. Replication of viral DNA takes place. For the replication of the viral DNA, for the replication of this viral DNA makes use of the nucleotides of the host itself. Number of nucleotides are present in the cell cytoplasm of the host bacterium cell. So for the replication of the new viral DNA, this is a viral DNA. Viral DNA replicates with the help of the number of enzymes required for the replication process. All are there in the cell cytoplasm of the host cell. So the nucleotides are there, enzymes are there. So these four nucleotides assemble together, so the new viral DNA will be formed. This is a newly formed viral DNA. Viral DNA. So in this fashion, a number of new viral DNA molecules will be formed inside the cell cytoplasm of the Escherichia coli bacterium cell. For the replication process of the viral DNA, there are four nucleotides which are present in the DNA molecule: adenylic acid, guanylyc acid, cytidyllic acid, and thymidyllic acid. In the DNA molecule of the bacteriophage, T4 bacteriophage, instead of the cytosine, the cytosine molecule, it is 5-HMC. Means what? 5-hydroxymethyl cytosine molecule which is attached. Okay, remember this. So anyhow, all the four nucleotides, they join together, and the long polymer, that is the new viral DNA molecule, will be formed in the cell cytoplasm of the host cell. So when a number of new viral DNA molecules are formed, when a number of new viral DNA molecules are formed, these newly formed viral DNA and the proteins, they assembled together. They assemble each other. The process can also be termed as, that is maturation. That is a maturation process. During a maturation process, what happens? number of protein components and DNA components or the DNA molecules, they group together and they make up the new progeny viral viral progenies, means what, viral progeny particles, new virus, newly formed virus particles, they assembled together like this. I will show you here again. Okay, this is a head region of the head, a collar, the tail, and a DNA molecule like this. A number of new virus T4 bacteriophage will be formed in the cell cytoplasm of the Escherichia coli bacterium. Escherichia coli bacterium. So this is another, the newly formed the bacteriophage, like that. Number of T4 bacteriophage will be formed inside the Escherichia coli bacterium cell. This can be termed as a maturation. And lastly, after the maturation step of the life cycle of T4 bacteriophage, all these newly formed the viral progeny particles are released out. So it is the next, the last step, release of the progeny particles, release of the newly formed viral particles, termed as a can be termed as the last step. So here what happens, all these number of newly formed the virus particles, they make a pressure, and then it takes place in such a way that with the lysis of the cell membrane of the bacterium. Lysis means what?